All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to this amazing exclusive episode of The Reality Kenya. This is where we look at what's happening on the ground, we look at the livelihood and the economy of our country as far as the government and the issues involving the government are concerned. And of course, we are live from the Learned Corner as usual, and joining us is the one and only, the Deputy Party Leader of Safina Party, Honorable Wakili Willis Otieno. Piki Ponki. Pakamelo Disco. And of course, we are here. He's joining us to break it down again one more time this week. And of course, it's been a month. We are coming to the end month. The month has been having a lot of events happening here and there, from the government to the people to the economy and everything. And of course, we are here to look at all that all round. And of course, I want to welcome Wakili to join us officially. Wakili,
Asante.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Welcome to the Reality Kenya one more time.
Yes.
We are happy that it's growing each and every day. And to everyone who has been part of this show since we started, keep sharing with your friends, share with everyone, because this is where it is done. And Wakili,
yes.
First of all, how was your weekend? How was
the weekend was good. We had we celebrated Eid.
Yes.
In recognition of our Muslim brothers who had gone for a long period of time, 30 days, fast. In which time you introspect and connect to the spiritual being God. That is the main, that was to me was the highlight of my weekend, seeing our Muslim brothers conclude successfully their Ramadan fast. Not much happening in terms of political activity, but interestingly, one thing that I noted from the Kenya Kwanza Brigade, some of them seems to be climbing down from their high horse to start talking of we may open the server. That if you want the server to be open, bring it to Parliament, and that can be part of the conversation that we will have. That was interesting that it came from them and prompted. The back of that also we saw the Deputy Party Leader of ODM, Honorable Paranya, indicate that they will resume Mandamano from the 2nd of May.
On 2nd of May,
we also witnessed the Council of Governors led by their chair, Honorable Eguru herself, leading governors to give an ultimatum to the National Executive that if they don't release the county disbursement,
94 point something,
around 125 billion, that's outstanding, within 14 days, then they are going to shut down counties. There was also the threat from the Secretary General of the Kenya Civil Workers Union, Honorable Tom Odege, that if their salaries are going to be delayed any further, they will be forced to call for a strike. The Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union has also called for strike by its cadre in some counties. All these things boil down to one thing. There is the pressure on the money. I've always said that the cake is this small. The solution to all this is money. You have a small cake that has been baked, and everybody wants a piece of it. The state is not doing enough, in my view, to bake a bigger cake. The cake is still shrinking. We have debts which are maturing, and those debts need to be paid, and debts are paid from own revenue, whatever government collects. So we are witnessing a depletion in our own revenue. There's a high demand for the money that the government collects. Government has attempted to go to the market to borrow.
To borrow more funds.
And if you look at now what is happening, which should be of concern to all Kenyans, you will note that when government floats the long-term bonds, 10-year, 20-year, and even the 1-year bonds, they are all being undersubscribed. Nobody wants to give the government money for a long period of time. The short-term bonds, which are for 90 days, The previous week they were also undersubscribed for the first time. And I think then this week, the last week, the subscription was a bit better.
Yeah.
But it tells you the market is talking to government. That we don't trust you. You are a risky partner.
Yes.
We don't want to risk putting our money in your hands.
Yeah.
So probably they're not seeing what are the economic stimulus programs that the government is coming up with.
Yeah, to sustain
this borrowing, so that they can be able to commit their money to government. So, in a nutshell, in my view, in light of what has happened the last 1 week, the reactions from the markets, the statements from the trade union leaders and some political leaders, and the experience of delayed salaries last month to civil servants for the first time in the history of Kenya. All these are what you call the symptoms of an ailing economy. When someone is sick, you may not know it at once, but when you hear them coughing 3-4 times, see them scratching their body, see them dozing off at some point, they're fatigued. Those are signs and symptoms of an ailing person. What are the signs and symptoms of a sick government? The signs and symptoms of a sick government is one that is not able to pay its salaries, not able to keep up with its payments obligations in time. And you start seeing in when those who are meant to be paid start making demands, there's too much noise around it. That should be a sign that the economy is ailing. If you look at even the spiraling of the shilling, it was interesting to note, I watched President Ruto the other day say the economy has stabilized. And then on Sunday at Friends Church, I saw the Chief Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Musalia, indicate that there's going to be pain before things get any better. So if the economy has stabilized, on one hand, then the same government tells you there's going to be pain before things get better. What is the message? And there's always nowadays what you call the David in these Saturdays, when he texts on Twitter to rant. And he went back again on his Saturday rant. We are going to fail the people of Kenya, and he tried giving some of the reasons why the administration is failing. And reading through his tweets, in my view, you could see someone who may have given up. He sits,
there's no hope.
There's no hope. He sits on a pedestal position. He has a front row view of the economy, better than I do. And when he makes statements like the ones he did on Saturday on his Twitter platform, it sends a chilling fear that if that who has a front view of what is happening
and what is happening
is almost in a sense giving up on it, that he said something that was very macabre, that I wish we didn't even take over this administration and let the other side win so that we can hang them. This economy.
That is part of the government
talking. That is part of the government talking. I mean, he's the chairman of the National Economic Council of the President. So you take those statements very seriously. And this, in my view, I'm not seeing anything that is leading us to a more stable economy. You know, last time when I was mentioning to you about the issue of our debt, because ultimately all these things start with the debt. If you are paying 70 shillings out of every 100 that you collect to debt, you are left with only 30 shillings. Of that 30 shillings, you need 35 shillings to pay salaries. So you are at -5, you must borrow. You need 30 shillings for government operations, OPEX. You are at -35. That is the 35 before plus 30. You are at -35. You need a minimum of 15 shillings to pay counties.
That's 50.
That is 50. So in your own house, if for you to live, every month you must go to borrow 50 shillings for your house to live. Then when you go to borrow, your lenders, those who always lend you money, they start holding back. That is what I call the market reacting. When you issue long-term bonds, you are seeing under subscription. So you are not able to meet your 30 shillings, what you are looking for. Maybe you've gotten 10 shillings extra.
After paying the 70.
After paying everything, you needed 50. The market has given you 10 shillings or 20 shillings. Obviously, the needs which ought to have been met using the extra 30 shillings which you've not gotten are not going to be gotten. And also you will note that our debt books keep ballooning. And one way in which the debt book balloons that many people don't pay focus on. You know, you maintain our debt book in Kenya shillings. Because we collect our revenue in shillings. Right? That is what we collect here. It is from that revenue that we pay debt. The domestic debt can be paid using Kenya shillings. But the foreign debt is paid in dollars. So if in your debt book you had 100 billion debt,
that you're supposed to be paying.
You're supposed to pay 100 billion USD.
Dollars.
Yes, you're supposed to pay. In the foreigner's book, it is in USD. So you come into Kenya to collect money, right? You're collecting it in Kenya shillings. It's in Kenya shillings to pay these 100 billion. So it means you must convert the 100 billion, I mean, what you've collected in Kenya shillings to the equivalent US dollars, and you pay it. Now understand it this way. When your shilling loses value to the dollar by 1 shilling, so if you are supposed to pay this much, now because you are collecting in shillings, you are going to now pay more in Kenya shillings to meet the 100 billion obligation because you are paying it in dollars. Economists, those who do the math, have told us that every time the Kenya shillings loses value to the dollar by 1 shilling, in your debt book, your debt increased by 48 billion.
Just 1 shilling.
Just by losing it by 1 shilling against the dollar. Because your collection is in Kenya shillings. So you'll also have to convert to pay. So based on the debts that you have, what becomes your debt portfolio vis-a-vis the Kenya shillings? 48 billion more.
Will we really finish this debts?
We need prudent financial management. What is your fiscal policy? What are you doing to attract direct foreign investments? What are you doing as a country to improve exports? Because part of the challenges you face as a country is when you are a more import-reliant country. Because imports are done in dollars. You will not go to Ghana and tell them, I want to buy your cocoa.
In Kenya shillings.
In Kenya shillings. Look at you, what is that? You import using the dollar. So whatever shillings you have, go and convert it into dollars, then go to Ghana and buy their cocoa. You go to import sugar, which we like importing. And yet we could produce sugar. So you go to the market to import sugar from Brazil. The Brazilians don't care about your Kenyan shillings. They don't recognize it. Even if you gave them all the Kenyan shillings you have, they'll just throw them into the sea. It's nothing. So for them to trade with you, you must convert your shillings into dollars. Then you can now meet. And they'll give you the sugar you want. So how do you reduce that dependency on foreign imports? So for you to save your currency from those pressures, you must limit or reduce your reliance on foreign imports. So that if I was going to spend $5 billion to import sugar, if I were to invest in our local sugar sector, so that the needs for sugar are met by local production, I'll have saved the country from needing $5 billion US to import sugar. If you do the production well enough and you reach a surplus production, then you will say, under Commerce Agreement, let me also take some of my sugar to one of the COMESA countries. And when I take my sugar to them, I will be saying, you're paying me in dollars. So you not just saved $5 billion, but you may even, let's assume you've exported $1 billion worth of sugar.
Yeah.
You now earn an extra $1 billion
from the export.
From the export of the sugar.
Yeah.
Now, that kind of mindset, that kind of thinking, is what we need to focus on as a country.
Yeah.
Here today, we even import eggs.
Just imagine.
Eggs, kuku, mayai ya kuku.
Yes.
We import so many of it from Uganda and Tanzania.
Yeah.
You're lucky maybe Uganda and Tanzania, they may accept Kenya shillings.
Yeah.
But what it does to you, it is just a flight of your money to another country. Why not build your capacity? Encourage your young farmers, your young people.
With the same amount.
The same amount, and then you give them incentives to do aggressive chicken rearing and egg production. Right? We have so many little things that we keep importing that we can actually produce locally. Our focus as a country should move away from an import-oriented to an export-oriented country. Yeah. That is the only way we'll deal with these problems. The other way is the painful way.
Yeah.
The painful way is that you will subject the country to the IMF programs. And IMF has a history in the world over. Yeah. They've been here before.
Yeah.
Those who are alive in 1999, the period 1995 to 1999, when the IMF were here, and they came up with the structural adjustment programs. So IMF will walk in and they'll say, we are going to pump money, but it can't be business as usual. So the first thing, remove all government subsidies to anything. So you remove all subsidies. Yes. The market must. We want to understand the true strength of this market.
Of the market.
Without any government support, no subsidy.
Yeah.
So you remove all subsidies. You can imagine whatever items are subsidized by the government, what it will mean. Say, let market forces determine the value of every good and product in the market.
Yeah.
The second thing in their subs is normally we want a lean wage bill. You must retrench people.
After the subsidies?
Yes. Now, you cannot, your wage bill is too bloated, you must bring it down.
Yeah.
So we want you to fire people. And they'll say, for example, we need to reduce the government workforce by a third.
Yeah.
So a third of the state workers to be sacked. Let me call it what it is. To be retrenched, it is to be sacked. Now the cost of living is going high. Government is not subsidizing anything. Yeah. Then you tell that person that now you don't have a job. Are you getting? Those are the IMF interventions. Yeah. The third layer, they'll always tell you privatize. Government should not be doing business. So whatever state corporations you have,
privatize them.
Privatize them.
Yeah.
Now, what does it mean? You are going to sell your corporations to the market, both domestic and international market. Yeah. So, for example, Kenya Pipeline Corporation. Yeah. It needs to be privatized. KPA needs to be privatized. Yeah. Which Kenyan has the money to buy KPA? See, of course, it will be another foreign entity that will come in and gobble it up.
Definitely.
And let me tie, when I say, for example, on subsidies, how it affects people. You know, sometimes people don't see directly how it affects. Yeah. They may even say in terms of privatization, they'll say privatize only universities. Why should government provide help to students?
When it is already privatized.
Yeah, they'll not provide help.
No, definitely. Yeah.
So, University of Nairobi students, in a structural adjustment program, government will be told now the University of Nairobi is privatized, pay your own fees at the market rates. Yeah. So if the fees was 40,000 per year, now your fees will be 220,000. And this one you're talking of a student from the village or a very humble background. Yeah. Who is barely surviving in the city.
Even this 40 was
Even this 40 has been a problem. HELB is not giving them the subsidy to pay their fees. Now you're telling them to pay 250,000. take or pay, take or leave. Now, those are the kind of interventions which they are very painful.
Yeah.
But those are the things that the people of Kenya will be subjected to. And our situation, as I've said, is not unique. Greece was lucky they had the EU and was a member of the European Union.
Yeah.
So the EU was a cushion. They were able to move in to try to show up the economy of Greece when Greece was defaulting in its debts.
Yeah.
But still, life was not the same. It reaches a point where you have 10,000 shillings in your bank account.
Yeah.
The bank will tell you you cannot access your 10,000. We'll give you 500 shillings this week. Come back after 1 week.
Not that you don't have the
You have it. Yeah. Come back after 1 week to get another 500 for you to leave.
Yeah.
Now that is what happens when an economy collapses.
Yeah.
And economies don't just collapse. Economies collapse because of weak policies, economic policies that are implemented.
Yeah.
Policies that don't understand what we call the flow of money and how to produce more and how to meet your domestic obligations and international obligations. How to interact with the international community, including your donors. When you go out to overborrow, the consequences are right there.
Yeah.
We are just feeling, at this point in my view, what Kenyans are feeling is just but not even a tip of the iceberg, just the shivers of it.
It has not even
It has not even started.
And
It has not started. I mean, for now, we can still go to our offices, we can walk into a shop to find something to eat.
Yeah.
Because when you get to hyperinflation, even finding what to eat becomes a problem. You turned yourself into an import-driven economy. There will be no money to import anything. So you walk to a shop and you can't find. You go to a pharmacy, you can't find.
You can't find drugs. But you see, Wakili, the counties are about to be shut down. And this is from the chairman, the chairperson of the Council of Governors, who is part of the government, of the administration, one of the key leaders of the Kenya Kwanza administration. And they have said that in the next 2 weeks, definitely we don't expect the government at this point to get that money by that time, not unless we borrow again. What if it reaches a point where now the counties are now forced to shut?
So, you know, I hear you saying that what if you borrow again? Borrow from where? It's not like they've not been trying to borrow.
Yes.
I've just told you last week in the bonds market, the market spoke. The people who can lend you money spoke.
They said
they didn't take your bond.
Yes.
So you will borrow from who? There's nowhere to borrow. This is a crisis of unknown proportions.
Yeah.
Right? And also, in fact, there's something interesting that also happened. I just forgot to mention it.
Yeah.
When the Division of Revenue Bill was taken to the Senate last week, and the Commission of Revenue Allocation had proposed that recommended that counties be given 406 billion. The counties wanted that they be allocated 421 billion for the year. So when the matter went to Senate, senators didn't vote because normally Senate will be voting between what the CRA has recommended and what Parliament has governors are proposing. So it will be a choice between 46B and 421. Do you know what they did? They voted to allocate counties 385 billion. They voted below the recommendation.
Not even the proposal.
Not even the proposal. Below. And they gave some reasons. Some of the senators and largely Kenya Kwanza aligned senators. They said the country is not able to afford the proposed amount. The debt situation in the country cannot allow the country to meet that kind of commitment.
421 billion.
No, 406. The one proposed by a Commission of Revenue. Assuming in a worst case scenario, they will have rejected the COG request. But then you retain the 446 by the CRA. No, they said no, even this CRA one is too much. 385 billion. But even that 385 billion, whatever is due and owing to counties, they don't receive it. So it's not even like they will receive the 385 billion. So what happens if counties shut down? What does it mean when you say counties shut down? It simply means that county workers will not be paid.
Yeah.
The number one stimulant of local economies that circulates or brings money into many counties across the country is this county administration.
Yeah, the county government.
So once you freeze money off those counties, it means in terms of circulation of money in those local economies, there will be not much money circulating. The pain will now be felt. The pain will be home. The local shopkeeper will not be able to sell 5 pieces of bread. They'll now be selling half a loaf.
Yeah.
Because there's no money circulating. If you extend it to don't pay also governments, other civil servants in time, the one large group that also circulates, brings money into an economy are teachers.
True.
If the teachers, if teachers' money delays, again. So our economic problem today is not something that we down the alley for far too long. Now the time has come for us to confront the challenge and deal with it. And the consequences of this economic, I call it the Jubilee, have now caught up with the Jubilee administration. They were still part of Jubilee.
Yes.
There is a famous American pastor who used to say, the chicken have come home to roost. The Jubilee chickens are now home. They want to roost. The only and sad thing about it is that the pain of that roosting will be felt by the poor people of Kenya. But it should be a lesson. Through every painful experience, people need to learn lessons. I always say, don't spend too much time in your misery when you're going through pain. When you're taken through pain is a time for you to introspect and reflect on what are the positives that you can learn out of it. And for me, one lesson that Kenyans will need to learn through the coming pain, of course it's ongoing, but the bigger one is coming. One main lesson that Kenyans will need to learn is that we need to take the process of selecting our leaders seriously. We need to participate in our process of governance. When Jubilee was over-borrowing money for vanity projects, there was a section of Kenyans who were cheering them and defending that reckless borrowing. But we are here today, all of us are suffering the consequences of that recklessness. Now, once we are done with this pain, we will need now to start thinking critically as a people that when an administration is elected, it doesn't mean that they have a carte blanche to do whatever they want to do, including mortgaging the future of this nation. Because when you overborrow responsibly, what you've done is that you've robbed our children of their future. Because you are borrowing money today to expend, in a way, just lavishly spend it. But who will bear the burden of repaying that money? It's my son, it's my daughter. Who will still suffering the consequences, and is the one when they mature they'll be asked to pay for my reckless borrowing. So Kenyans have to deeply think about this and they take their leaders to account. And when next they are invited to exercise their electoral choices, they must put leaders to task. They must interrogate deeply. What is it that this leader is promising, and is it attainable? Or is this just flowery political language? So that somebody should not just stand up and tell you, "Nitawapatia 10 billion," and you cheer yes. The next question should be, from where? Somebody says, "I'll give you 6." Yes, where?
From where?
From where? Let us ask the questions. Let us start interrogating the leaders based on whatever you're promising, how will you achieve it? Tangibles. And when you see a leader even once in office going on a reckless tangent, it's a duty for us to stop him.
And kick them out.
Kick them out. And we must make enough noise for it. If And I can tell you, with this coming 7 years late, that going to the street should have been 7 years ago.
Yeah.
When this reckless borrowing was taking place. They should have gone to the streets that time to stop the reckless borrowing.
Yeah.
And if you look at Kenya Kwanza today, the rank and file, the top leadership, the generals of Kenya Kwanza,
yeah,
save from Davadi and
Tangula, yeah,
and Kingi, all the rest were in Jubilee. They were defending, even led by the president himself,
yes,
they were defending this reckless borrowing that was taking place.
Yeah.
Honorable Chungwa was the budget committee chairperson. He was defending and proposing those borrowings in parliament.
Yeah.
And the other members voted in parliament
and approved
this kind of reckless borrowings.
Yeah.
And they defended the administration. Now here we are. What else will they tell us? That we blame Uhuru?
Yes.
No.
And they were part of it.
They were part of it.
But Wakili, as we almost wind up, there is, during the weekend, we also saw the president also say that he's still focusing on the issue of affordable housing and proposed that in the near future, even if it will be possible for the salaries to be cut like with around 3% of your salaries, and majority were saying that instead of saying that the salaries will be increased, the same is talking of cutting the salaries so that they can.
You know, that's a oxymoron. To begin with, the cost of living is going up every day, which no one denies.
Yes.
Everybody, I believe, regardless of their political affiliation, everybody admits that we are going through, the cost of living has gone up.
Yeah.
These are tough economic times. The first question that our administration should be asking itself is, what have they done to increase the salary of its workers to commensurate with the increased cost of living? If I was earning 20,000 shillings per month, and my monthly shopping, groceries shopping plus household food was 8,000 last year. This year, my monthly shopping, groceries, comes to 13,000.
It's an additional 5,000.
An additional 5,000.
Yes.
How, on the same breath, do you start by saying you want to deduct me 3%? You should start by saying, I need to adjust your salary to cushion you from the inflation, so that I should still be able to live within my means. That my salary should be reflecting the cost of living that has risen. Second thing, you see, one thing that Kenya Kwanza, in my view, where they and our party we differ with them, they believe in these things of government doing. We will build for you houses. Housing is not the purview of government. Purview is the realm of the private sector. Why does the government want to become a house builder? Government should only provide a conducive environment that an individual or in the private sector can build affordable housing to everybody, and the market will determine. You will be built for a house that fits within your budget, but has the basic toilets, sanitation, lighting, accessibility, everything. So, government cannot do it. Government cannot build houses for people. Tell me which government project has ever been successful when it comes to building houses.
It has never.
And even when they're built, you look at the cost of the construction, how much it ends up being the cost.
It's more than money, it is privatized.
Yes. So government should just provide a facilitative environment so the private sector can take up these initiatives. Because they'll do it at a less cost, they'll be more efficient, and they'll deliver. Right? But if government wants to become the landlord, one way of even achieving, let me tell you one interesting thing. One easy way of even achieving affordable housing to people. You know, government is the #1 borrower in the banks. And banks prefer to lend to government than even to use CIMI. So the more government borrows in the domestic market, the interest rates keep going up. They don't care about you. Why should I care about CIMI is 1 million When I know government is bringing, we're going to float a bond, will borrow from me 10 billion every month.
Yeah.
And the interest rate is very high. They'll focus on the government money, yes. But if government walked out of the domestic market, that government was not borrowing money domestic, what do you think these banks will do? These banks will come.
Yes.
To borrow their money.
Yeah.
And that is how private sector will, in one way, will be able to say, hey, we have people have access to credit here at low interest rates. Why can't I build a house that is commensurate to Cindy's lifestyle? And Cindy will be able to walk into a bank and get the credit facility to purchase that house at a very low interest rate.
Wow.
But if government is still over borrowing in the domestic market, they are the ones who made that interest rate to remain what it is. When the government does not borrow domestic, interest rates automatically go down.
So that they can accommodate.
They can accommodate. They start now begging me. In fact, you'll be finding even 5 banks are saying in my office, begging me to take loans for things I don't even need. But now they can't. Now if you want to borrow money, it's a whole process. You think you're going through security briefing, screening.
Yes.
Because they don't need my money. In fact, that process is skewed that way to frustrate me not to borrow. So they know the person who gives the money is government. Government gets out. And if it's a question of affordable housing, the market will respond, the market will construct, the people will access those houses. So that anytime government, if you ask me, I told you last time about our program, if you want to do Kibro, government can only come as a partner to facilitate, but not the constructor. All these things can be done by the private sector. Government is just about providing an enabling environment.
And therefore, the current administration has a lot of misplaced priorities.
In my view, that is where I say, then they're about distribution as we're about production.
Okay, as we wind up, what do you think about the state of where we are right now as we wind up? Like, we have to look at the impacts, how it has started and where it's going. The state, the current state, if not well handled.
No, we're in a very bad place. And I will urge Kenyans, those who are able to read and have access to the internet, just read about Greece, read about Lebanon, read about Argentina, read about Sri Lanka, read about Zambia. Some of the countries I've mentioned have been through this. Some in a worse situation. Some were able to ride the wave. And these are the times that I would urge my fellow citizens that we have to be very frugal in how we spend and even how you commit yourself. And ultimately you have to brace yourself. There is no cushion. I cannot even tell you to do this, but you have to brace yourself for the impending economic implosion. I don't have a solution that will help anybody come through that storm. But if you are mentally prepared for it, maybe that can help you go through it. But the storm is here. And we'll take our time to learn our lessons from the experience that we are going through and that we are yet to go through. Let's learn lessons that will be for the better of this country. It will be sad if we come through this and that there are no lessons learned, and that we continue living like we lived before. Those lessons are lessons for posterity, lessons for our children and our grandchildren and their grandchildren. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much, Wakili. Do you have any other?
No, that's
that's it. Thank you so much, Wakili.
Thank you, Simon.
I really appreciate, we also learn every time we go through these conversations, we learn and we come to know how to go about all these things and how to handle them. So we also appreciate, thank you so much. And of course to our viewers and everyone, keep sharing with your friends because this is where it is done and this is The Reality Kenya. My name is Simi Kenya. Let's catch up again next week, same place, same time. as we grow this new and greater family. Thank you so much, Wakili.
Asante
God bless you. And
Thank you. Have a good week.
The rest of the week as well.
Okay.
Asante sana.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
Thank you.